Fala meus chapinhas, sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo aqui no Bricolagem TV. Hoje a gente vai ver um vídeo da build do FALCONER de Dive Bomb. O Zizarian teve acesso junto com o Boardman 21, um showcase, né, de uma build que o Boardman fez com o FALCONER, já testando a build. Infelizmente a gente não tem acesso a esse vídeo ainda, muito menos a build do Max Row, tá? Eles falaram que amanhã já vai estar tudo disponível, mas a gente já tem esse conteúdo aqui pra gente já analisar e ver como que vai ser essa nova classe. Então, bora pro vídeo.
Hi, Scissorin here with another video, and this is a collab with Boardman21. So I'm bringing you some of the brightest and best Last Epoch creators to showcase a really cool build, and this is using footage from the closed test server given to us by 11 Hour Games. We are going to be showcasing a dive bomb FALCONER. So you might have already seen our reveal showing off a lot of the FALCONER, and this is a full build guide for that. And as you can see in the back,
Full Build Guide, velho. Esse aqui é um vídeo que os caras já estão conseguindo fazer uma build inteira já, baseada no FALCONER. Foi o que eu disse pra vocês, eu tava dando uma lida nos comentários aqui, ainda não tá disponível a build no Max Row, tá? Mas que amanhã vai estar resolvida.
the Falcon is just slamming down on everything, just very
Olha que
strong
roubado,
build.
mano.
And this sounds very OP, and from what Boardman is saying, it is very OP, and he's going to be league starting or
O Boardman disse que tá muito OP a build.
chapter starting this, so you can come by and ask him questions,
Deixa eu pôr
and
legenda.
he can give you a lot of advice. So the build has really good damage, really good clear. I don't know, this might get nerfed eventually, but it's
Ele falou
very
que
strong.
provavelmente vai ser nerfado essa build, hein?
So I'm thinking about playing this myself at launch. And
Eu
if
também
you're
vou
not familiar
jogar
with Last
com essa build no começo, tá? Amanhã eu tô com essa build com certeza e amanhã o bicho vai pegar, pessoal. Inclusive, se vocês quiserem ajudar o canal, eu também tenho uma conta na Nexus. Se vocês conseguirem comprar o Last Epoch por lá, cara, seria incrível. Vou deixar o link na descrição.
So, first off, let's take a look at the Maxwell article. For those of you that follow me for my Path of Exile content, you might be used that I'm using the third-party program, Path of Building. However, Maxwell has most tools built into it, and if you can see here, you can hover over skills like Dive Bomb.
Aqui, ó, esse não tá disponível ainda no Max Row, pessoal. Não tá disponível ainda. Eles têm acesso, o público ainda não tá.
And I'll actually show you what it does. So you have really good technology here, and you can hover over items and things. Now, some things will be changing a little bit before launch because things are still being updated, things are still being done, but this will have a fully updated Maxwell article, and I really wanted to show off that and how good it is because you can follow those. So if we look further down on the site, we can see pros and cons of the build. So the Falconer gets a little bit low health sustain, and it doesn't have the greatest mana management, etc. But it has a lot of pros, and it is kind of OP.
Pouco HP e é difícil você gerar mana constantemente.
And if we scroll down again, we can see that we have the skills, and you can hover over them, and at the bottom there is a step-by-step feature showing you exactly where to put points when you need them, so you don't get confused about what points to follow first. And this is actually for all of the different skills of the
Ah,
Falconer.
tá, vamos lá, ó. Como que vai funcionar, ó? A gente vai usar Explosive Trap, né? Que vai ser a nossa skill principal, que vai ser transformada numa skill de arco com Blast Rain, tá?
To follow first. And this is actually for all of the different skills of the Falconer, so you can click on one and it still has that same step-by-step feature. And if we scroll further down again, it has the exact same thing for the passive tree. So you don't need to worry about what passives am I taking at what point. The guide does all of that for you. And it's very easy to follow. Everything like gear, etc.
Obviamente, cara, amanhã eu vou tentar montar uma build eu mesmo, porque esse jogo não é igual ao Diablo, na minha opinião, tá? Que no Diablo, cara, se você é um jogador casual, é impossível você conseguir fazer uma build você mesmo e conseguir fazer uma manutenção legal do endgame, né? Tipo, no leveling, você até consegue jogar o Diablo, você montando a sua build, mas no endgame, na dificuldade 4, fica complicado. Começa aí em masmorra de pesadelo já de nível alto, fica complicado e acaba sendo muito difícil para o jogador casual conseguir fazer uma build decente, né? O Diablo 4, você basicamente segue o que está no Max Row, né? Basicamente. Aqui, eu acho que no Last Epoch é um pouco diferente, cara. Você consegue ter uma criatividade, consegue fazer builds novas e não ficar seguindo apenas o Max Row, entendeu? Claro que no endgame a história já é outra.
Will be showcased in this as well. So it'll give you like what is the best gear to get, what do you need to scale the most, and what uniques, if any, do you need. So very easy to follow, and Boardman's done a really good job here. Now we're going to have Boardman run an endgame monolith with the Falconer, and we're going to ask him some questions as he's playing through the map, and he'll be showing off each skill and what it does for the build.
Legal.
So the main thing you're gonna do
Ó, eu tô trocando ideia com o cara que fez a build, velho, o Boardman.
is have explosive trap, which will rain down traps from the sky. And as you use that, it'll do damage for you. You also get health sustain every time you fire it off. You'll get some health back. And then the big thing is
Legal.
it'll boost your Falcon's
Você
damage
recebe
every time
HP,
that you
tem
use it and hit an
tipo
enemy.
So this is
drenar
a little
vida.
similar to Toxic Rain from Path of Exile, right?
Yeah, very
É bem semelhante à chuva tóxica do Path of Exile, velho. Bem semelhante mesmo.
similar. Explosive trap itself
Aliás, tem muita gente comparando essa classe com a do Ragnarok, né?
is sitting for very, very little. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage, especially as you scale up in the end game. The Falcon itself is doing almost all the damage.
Oh,
Ah, ó, quem dá o dano real é o Falcão, velho.
I'd say 95% of it. And then we also have aerial assault
95% do dano vem do Falcon.
for our our transversal skill, so we can move around.
yeah.
It'll also let our Falcon
Divertida essa build,
do
hein?
that feather storm it's doing. But our main damaging skill is going to be dive bomb, which I have
Tá.
going off every time it comes
O principal dano vem do Dive Bomb, hein? Não é da Explosive Traps.
off cooldown. So I'm always trying to make sure I'm aiming for the pack of mobs, and you can see every time he comes down that he just finishes them off for me in that huge area that he hits.
If you don't want to do the numlock trick, which maybe you can explain how to do for our viewers in a second, but if you don't want to do that, then you can just manually do it whenever you want, right?
Yep, you can just
Então tem um esqueminha pra você conseguir fazer a skill e automático, né?
push it down or hold it down however you
Você
like.
pode pressioná-lo,
And
mantendo
it has a
pressionado.
cooldown of a few seconds, so it's not like you
Tá.
constantly have to be pushing it.
Yeah. Do you want to explain real quick how to do the numlock trick?
Tem um não lock
Sure.
trick diretamente nas configurações do jogo, hein, pessoal?
For the numlock trick, you just go into your settings, and then you'll go into your change input keys. And then for your keyboard, you have your normal abilities. You'll just go over to your keypad, and
Tá.
for the same keys, have like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then with your keypad on, you'll hold that key down and turn your keypad off, and it just
Entendi.
acts as if you're pushing down that key the entire time.
Now we're going to show off a shade of Orobyss and a Julra, just so you get a little bit of an idea of how strong the build
Aqui é tipo um eco da Lilith, tá ligado? Os caras fazem isso pra testar a build.
is. And I think you'll like it.
Yeah, the single target's insane on this.
Now, another note about the
Simplesmente-
build, this isn't the tankiest build. It is relatively
Que
tanky,
absurdo,
but it
velho.
might not be the best choice for a hardcore league
Simplesmente
starter.
deleta o
So I
boss,
hope
ó.
you guys enjoyed this collab with Boardman. Make sure you check him out
Muito
on
da hora,
YouTube,
velho.
on
Eu vou deixar o link dos dois canais na descrição dos caras. Os caras são bem da hora, mano. Muito bom, velho. Tô muito ansioso pra classe Falconer, velho. Amanhã eu tô criando meu char. Amanhã vai ter live na Twitch desde a liberação do patch. Eu já vou ligar a live, mano. Eu tô pensando em fazer umas 12 horas de live amanhã. Então fica ligeiro aí, ativa o sininho aí. Pô. É nóis, curte, se inscreve no canal. Tamo junto, comenta, participa. Vou trazer muito conteúdo de Last Epoch. Tamo junto, é nóis.
I wanna be in that girls club. I wanna be in that girl club. I gotta be in that girl club.